What if Adolf Hitler was Walt Disney? Bill Plimpton. Let's talk about Bill Plimpton for a while. Bill Plimpton is one of those inescapable names if you're into the animation industry in one way or the other. He is like the inevitably omnipresent name in the indie scene, in the American indie scene of animation. He built an entire career in producing films, short films, or long-form films in a very specific way, in a very specific hand-drawn style, very quickly. I personally don't like his style for various reasons. I also reviewed one of his films when he was presented in I believe was the 2014 edition of the Future Film Festival. I did not like that film in the slightest, but it also ended up being the film that won the festival, the main competition that year. We have yet another film by his hands in the main competition this year, and I have to say it is brilliant, and part of the reason why I think it's brilliant is because I don't have to stare to his unpleasant, repetitious, and quite frankly a bit outdated animation style for too long, because it is mostly live action. It is a straight-up mockumentary with some found footage elements thrown in it, kind of film that reimagines the whole life of Adolf Hitler as the life of a guy who wanted to be a cartoonist, an animator, and founded his own animation empire with his animation mascot, a duck named Downy Duck, and it's absolutely hysterical. It is mostly an excuse to satirize on the animation industry of the time, or even of 2 days, by drawing those parallels between Disney and Hitler. Because yes, there are parallels between Hitler and Disney to go for days in this film, because shockable shock, Bill Plimpton taking hot shots at Disney. I would have never expected that. Sarcasm. But yes, it's actually freaking hilarious. And creative as well. So, Adolf Hitler had a pet duck, which then was eaten by his parents, and he decided to hate his parents for that. Then he started becoming an artist and wanted to distribute to the entire world his idea of fun, having fun with cartoons. So there was a war that was fought because of distribution rights for his upcoming animated epic, his reinterpretation of Ring of the Nibelungen, starring Downy Duck. Also co-starring Pinocchio from Italy, because he he ended up making some arrangements with Benito Mussolini, because he wanted in the money-making machine that was the animation industry of Germany. Oh, and the Nazi Party, that was originally a animations lover film club. And the Nazi Salute, that's the kind of movement you make to tell somebody, hey, come over here, we have a free seating in the room, in the cinema. Oh, and the Nazi goose-like walk, that's just something you develop as a necessity, otherwise you would be stepping in on popcorn or other such substances you find in the floor of a film theater. This film is littered with creative and fun details such as this one. It is, like I said, a comedic tour de force. It is extremely funny. The mockumentary style really serves the purpose of improving your experience of an already funny joke, and it brings it to the absolute max. The maximum amount of enjoyment you can get from the premise alone. It just takes this ridiculous, grotesque, satirical premise and it rides with it from start to finish, never missing a beat. It is perfectly paced, very well written, and it's just a ball. Hitler's Folly is just a rare example of a well-made satire of the animation industry. Also a rare example of a documentary, or at least a mockumentary in this case, that I would recommend blindfolded. This is really funny, it's really good, it's poignant, it is Bill Plimpton's comedic writing style at its finest, without his obnoxious animation and visual style, stripping you of the enjoyment of the decoupage, of the diegesis, or at least that's just a subjective complaint of mine. His style always gets in the way of my enjoyment of his comedy, but not in this case. This is the only time I'll say that live action actually serves a better purpose than animation. In fact, this is the only time I will ever say that a documentary style of filmmaking serves a better purpose for the comedic direction that the film wanted to take, more than other proper fictional genres of filmmaking. You need to watch Hitler's Folly. It is lambasting, ferocious, hilarious, hysterical, every step of the way. And it is also such a fascinating rewrote history. Hey, come to think of it, yes, this is alternative history facts. This film makes fun of the alternative history facts trend that we've been having as of late. Yeah, I like this film even more now. Again, Hitler's Folly, I can never get tired of saying it. It's so funny, you need to watch it. It is by far the best film I've seen on this year's edition of the Future Film Festival. I doubt anything can top it. But we'll see, I still have a few films to watch. We'll see about that. I'll tell you at the end of the week, at the end of this series of vlogs, if Hitler's Folly is indeed the best, but for now it is in the leading board and just one step above where the birds go to fly, because that was just too bizarre not to be a masterpiece. Well, see you next update.